Good morning. It's Tuesday, and we're here for another edition of Transparency Tuesday. And today I wanted to talk about failed suicide attempts, but I've changed my mind. I want to talk about black men and mental health. And for those who have followed my journey know that I lost my best friend to suicide 2 years ago. And it was definitely unexpected. It wasn't anything that I could have prepared myself for, or known that it was, gonna happen. But I recently saw a status, and it's a classmate of mine, and I don't know him on an adult level. We went to high school together, and he posted a status, sharing about a time in his life when he suffered from depression. How he blew a lot of money in a strip club, how he was drinking all the time, how he was, coming home to dark rooms and just isolating himself. I call it turtle shelling. So, he was isolating himself, and I was just like, oh, this means he's healing. He's ready to heal. I was excited for his healing. I was proud of him for sharing, and I was going to tell him later, and I made the stupid ass mistake of clicking in the comments, and the very first comment that I saw said weak, W-E-A-K, and it bothered my spirit because it came from a black woman. And so here we are, we have this young black male who has overcome a lot of odds, has been deployed, takes care of his kids. I know perception is everything, but this is what I see. And he decides to share about a bout of depression. And this could potentially be a catalyst for change for people in his circle to say, hey man, I noticed you posted about going through depression. I went through something similar. Maybe we can, check in on each other. There we go. We're building a connection. We're helping our black men heal. We can't tell them that we will offer a safe space for them to come and be vulnerable. And then when they decide to be vulnerable, we call them weak and pussy ass bitches and liars and shit. Like, we cannot do that. I don't understand. That shit blew me. And it wasn't just one comment. It was like something else. Somebody else said, you don't have, or you didn't have depression. That wasn't depression. Well, how do you know what depression is? Depression is different for everybody. You have high functioning, people suffering from depression. You have low functioning people that suffer from depression. You got high functioning anxiety. Unless you are properly educated in the matter, you cannot tell somebody that they did not have depression. Now, I understand that sometimes maybe the word depressed has been overused. But if somebody is sharing something and they say, yes, this is what I went through, that's not your place to take what they just shared and ball it up and throw it back at them. That's unacceptable. And that just really bothered my spirit. And, it's a, I don't know, what is it? A stereotype that black men are weak if they decide to share themselves, if they decide to cry, if they decide to show any, ounce of emotion. And that's where that black male fragility comes into play. And it's just like, we can't say we're standing for change. We can't say we're changing. And then when, someone says, okay, I'm going to take you up on the opportunity to be vulnerable and to share myself, to share a piece of myself. And then we do this, we call them names. And I just couldn't help but think, like, what if this isn't something that he went through in the past? What if this is something that he's going through right now and he just worded it that way? This could push him over the edge. Like, how are people that inconsiderate? It's 2017. We got too many, we have too many ways for people to educate themselves. And I'm not saying you need to go get a degree in social work or go get a degree in behavioral health. People lack emotional intelligence. And I think that's what pissed me off the most, because number one, I absorb everybody's feelings. So I felt as though it was a personal attack on me. Number two, it can be overwhelming when you are sharing, when you're on the road to healing and you decide to share, that's a part of your healing. And I can't even imagine, yes, I can imagine how I would have felt if that was me, because I recently just posted, I said I'm exhausted, or I'm tired, or mentally tired, or something. And, people proceeded to put all of these quotes and memes and, cliches and Somebody told me to shake it off. And I was just like, y'all, are y'all even listening to anything that I have ever been saying in any of these videos? You know, depression can be like a cloak, like a heavy ass cloak. Like, it's summertime, but imagine a heavy ass cloak, a damn Game of Thrones cloak you carrying around on you, or it's hovering over your head and you feel the weight of it, but it's not on you and nobody else can see it but you. So somebody's saying, why are you walking so slow? Pick up the speed, you know, pick it up. And you like, I would if I could, but I got this heavy ass cloak on my back. And they like, well, I don't see no cloak, so ain't nothing wrong with you. That's not your motherfucking place to say it's nothing wrong with me. You know, it's not our place to say, you don't have diabetes, it's nothing wrong with you. Don't take that insulin. The whole situation really bothered me. And, you know, it just so happened to have to come right before the actor Nelson Ellis passed away from alcoholism. And so all of that can be tied into play, because everything that we do to mask a pain that we're trying to escape from, everything we do to try to numb the pain, whether it's cutting, whether it's popping benzos, whether it's drinking, whether it's sex, anything that we do that's unhealthy, that's solely or strictly for masking the pain, that can, you know, that's basically life or death. And that has really bothered me. So that's my Transparency Tuesday today. Like, it made me feel as though we have not come that far at all. You know, basically we're still talking about it, and I'm tired of starting the conversation and talking about it. We need to be doing something. And I thought letting our black men know that, hey, you have a safe space here with us was a step in the right direction. And that's what's been on my mind the past couple days. So if you tell someone that they have a safe space with you, if you let someone know that, hey, I'm here for you, be there. Be that safe space. Don't just say it and then have no intention of being there for them. You know, don't pretend to be interested, because ultimately that's even more unhealthy and more damaging later on down the line. And just be transparent, be honest, be upfront. Other than that, I don't have nothing else going on. That was my Transparency Tuesday for today. We still have a long way to go. Black men, I love you. Despite the fact that I still want a Samoan or Pacific Islander, I do love my black men. Tell David Banner stop playing. Yeah, so you got a safe space. If y'all need me, hit me up.